English language and composition students, this is Mr. Francavella for lesson 17. I will be proceeding through the Edgar Allan Poe passage in order to help you answer the questions, the stylistic analysis questions on it. So you will get the document of the passage and the questions. You should have read the passage already. So here we go. I'll be following your worksheet questions pretty closely, but I'll add some extra things in. So we have a person here. What is the main idea? What is the subject of this passage? Well, we do find out that the speaker, is wanting to murder the old man. So we could say that is the subject. It's a little more complex than that. He is trying to prove something. So if you can add that in, that would be more helpful too, and I'll see what I'll do about grading. He's making a claim for an argument. He's making a claim all the way through this and trying to support a claim. That's what's really going on. But it is about his process of getting ready to murder this guy, this old man. And what is Edgar Allan Poe's purpose, though? Basically, there is a lot of drama here, so that would show that he wants to entertain us, the reader. And from what point of view is Edgar Allan Poe writing? He's giving us the words of this man who's trying to kill the other man, and he mentions, "I love the old man," and so on. Am I mad? I am mad. I love the old man. What is that? That's the first person. It's more intimate, more personal. The second person uses you. And the third person uses he or she or it or a person's name. It's from another person's point of view, not the speaker. Right? So third person has a variety of choices to it. And we're not going to spend too much time on that now. But third person omniscient means that the narrator is speaking about what's happening and he or she has insight into everybody's mind. Limited omniscient means, third person limited omniscient means the narrator doesn't have an understanding of everyone's mind, but some characters. So, but this is just first person. And what kind of punctuation is used throughout? Well, we see it. This, you could call it a hyphen or a dash. And we see a lot of this, exclamation point. So those are the answers for the punctuation question, number 4. But why? It's not enough to spot it. We have to say, what's the effect? So those are used as parentheticals in a way to segment off information and make it stand out, to clarify explanation, right? So giving explanation, wanting to make sure the audience understands, to break something apart, set it aside, and make it clearer. And what does the exclamation point indicate? Is it suddenness or strong emotions? All with strong emotions here. Now this, we have to look at this one point here. So let's find it in the passage. Question number 7 asks, why can the use of the exclamation point after "oh so gently" be termed ironic? So we have "oh so gently" here and an exclamation point. And so how is that ironic? Well, this means something soft and this means something extreme, so Those are two opposites. Well, what is that? There is more irony, even bigger than just the question about that. As I said before, the claim, there's a claim that the speaker is making, that he is not mad. But he's quite extreme in his emotions. Yes, he's under control a lot on what he's doing, peering in on the old man and not waking him and so on, but there's such heightened emotions. So what are we supposed to really take away from this? That he is mad. These opposites that combine all the time through this support the idea that he really is mad, even though he keeps claiming that he isn't. Okay. In question 8 asks, in the phrase, "Oh, so cautiously, cautiously, for the hinges creaked," right here. Why does the author use, for this one time, actual parentheses and not on others? Because we are moving from a very silent situation to a mention of noise. So, and also this this prepositional phrase and this extra, well, this little clause here, hinges creaked. It doesn't go grammatically with the rest of the sentence, and it also idea-wise doesn't go with the rest of the sentence. So it's set apart. Maybe that's why, because Poe knew that eventually he was going to make a stronger separation of this section from the rest of the text, so he didn't want to have parentheses everywhere, so that he could make this even be a little more separate than the hyphen or the dashes. So he's making a more extreme separation because the sound doesn't go with the lack of sound here, and the grammatical type here doesn't go with the rest of the sentence. So we're on question 9. And to which two senses does this passage focus its attention? There's a lot of visual description, so sight, and there is description of sound, okay? And number 10. Now, this requires a little bit of explanation. There's a lot of new terms for number 10. And I'm going to go through the passage a little and point out which of these terms are actually used by Poe. So, you will get many questions like this on the AP test. And I want to point them out now. So when we have, vulture, I have to go a little bit further up here, I guess. Right. All right. He had the eye of a vulture. Did he really? No, he didn't. So that's metaphorical. So we can call that multiple things. It is a metaphor. Human eye compared to a vulture eye, two unlike things being compared without like or as. That's a metaphor. But it's also an analogy. Analogy just means comparison. So we do have metaphor and analogy. And we do have, at the very beginning, a new term for you, lightity, L-I-T-O-T-E. Lightity is a type of understatement where something is downplayed, an idea is downplayed, and it's downplayed, and with the focus of, and the effort of downplaying it actually heightens our awareness of it. And how is it actually accomplished? In a lightity, we have a negation of something that's already negative, right? So it's hard to spot unless you have a prefix like that means not. I'm not atypical, not atypical, not, like two negatives together, which means I am typical. But so when we have the disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. This is an understatement. This is a version of a lightity. And then we have it way below. We have it, for it was not the old man who vexed me, but his evil eye. So we have like two negatives there. Old isn't always negative, but they are the only laity examples, and the notes say there are laities here, and these are the only ones that are close to that. So we do have laities. Laities fit, they make sense here, because the speaker is trying consistently, repeatedly, to express that he is in control, and with the understatement takes a lot of control, and it's like an insistence. So that is interesting. We also have personification. When we have something capitalized that normally isn't, especially an abstract concept or something in nature, we have personification. It makes it come to life. So this is personification. And another term, well, we do have obvious, some of these are obvious. There is a rhetorical question in there. Move up to that. Rhetorical question right here. What is a rhetorical question? Just an indication it's not supposed to be answered. The speaker doesn't expect us to answer. Just a question to make us think. So we do have parallelism also. That's one of the other terms that they're asking you to check off there. And we have it in the line that begins with, "But you should have seen." But you should have seen how wisely I proceeded, with what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation. So obvious, it's really anaphora, because we have successive phrases, but anaphora is a type of parallelism. So we have the prepositions beginning with, and we have all prepositional phrases. It's very parallel. There are probably other examples, but that's one. And we do have onomatopoeia, creak, creak. The hinges creak, that's onomatopoeia. So the rest of the question should be pretty easy to answer. Does this passage use punctuation that contributes to the meaning and effect? Obviously, yes. Does the passage use interrupters? Yes. And the sentences, are they similar or varied? Some are very short and some are longer, so they're varied. And the passage does not contain many descriptive phrases. They say does not. I think it's a little bit descriptive myself, but they say does not. Maybe they could have more detail. And what words for number 15 are repeated? Mad, madman, cautiously, very, I, and you. And number 16, the diction. It is ironic, complex, and conversational. We talked about irony already, and the speaker is speaking to us. It's very kind of close and intimate. How is it complex? Well, we do have some bigger words like dissimulation. And number 17, based on the information, you can conclude that the passage is chilling and suspenseful. And number 18, the author's style is hyperbolic. That you might not understand, but he is being very exaggerating. He went to heaven, he went to hell. Crazy people might think that, right? So it is hyperbolic, exaggerated. It is dramatic. It is compelling, because he's leading us along to see what, and we're wondering what's going to happen. And it is complex. Those layers of irony, it's very complex. So that should do it for helping you answer your worksheet.